Listen closely. Can you hear it? Not the sounds of the world outside, but the sound of your own soul gasping for air. You are tired. We know you are. You've been told since you were a child that life is a mountain you must climb without ever stopping. You've been told that hard work is the only way to be worthy of respect. So you run. You hustle. You work until your eyes burn and your heart feels heavy like a stone. But look at your life. After all that running, after all that sweat, why does it feel like you are still standing in the exact same place? Why is the burden on your back getting heavier every single day? In the ancient world, the great Marcus Aurelius once faced the same crushing weight. He realized a secret that most people will never understand. He found that true power doesn't come from doing more. It comes from the ability to do nothing. For the next 30 minutes, I want you to drop your burdens. Just for this time, you don't have to be successful. You don't have to be productive. You just have to listen. This is the story of a boy, a monk, and the mirror of the mind. Let's begin. Once, in a valley forgotten by time, lived a boy named Kael. Kael believed in effort. He believed that if he stopped for even a second, the world would move past him. He spent his days pulling a heavy wooden cart filled with stones of ambition, stones of fear, stones of what others think. His face was always etched with worry. His youth was fading into a permanent shadow of exhaustion. He would look at the sunset and feel nothing but the dread of the next morning. To Kael, life was a battle, and silence was a waste of time. One hot afternoon, Kael was pushing his cart through an ancient forest. The air was thick with heat. His muscles were screaming. His vision was blurring with tears of frustration. Why? He screamed at the sky. Why am I working so hard, yet I feel so empty? And then he saw him. Underneath the shade of a massive banyan tree sat an old monk. The monk wasn't working. He wasn't praying. He wasn't even moving. He was simply sitting. He looked so peaceful that it made Kael angry. Kael, trembling with anger and exhaustion, pointed at his heavy cart. I have sacrificed my sleep. I have sacrificed my joy. I have worked until my hands bled because they told me that was the only way to be someone. And here you are, a man who does nothing, yet you look like you have found the gold that I am still digging for. Tell me, old man, is your life not a waste? The monk slowly opened his eyes. They weren't the eyes of a tired man. They were clear, like the morning sky. He didn't offer an argument. He didn't give a lecture. He simply picked up a small wooden bowl and walked toward the edge of the stream that flowed beside the great tree. Kael followed him, his heavy boots crunching loudly on the dry leaves, contrasting with the monk's silent, ghostly steps. Every step Kael took felt like a struggle against the earth, while the monk seemed to move with the wind itself. The monk reached down and dipped the bowl into the crystal-clear water. But as he lifted it, he deliberately dug his fingers into the riverbed, stirring up the dark silt and decaying leaves. He held the bowl up to Kael's face. The water was a swirling brown mess. Look into this bowl, the monk said. Tell me what you see. Kael looked and spat out the words. I see nothing but dirt. It's a mess. It's chaos. The monk nodded. This is your mind, Kael. This is the life you have built with your hard work. Now, I want you to use all your strength, all your ambition, and all your willpower, and make this water clear again. Kael grabbed the bowl, frustrated. He began to stir the water with his fingers, trying to spin the dirt out. He blew on it. He shook the bowl. But with every single movement, the mud only mixed deeper. The water became darker. I can't. Kael finally gasped, dropping his hands in defeat. The more I touch it, the worse it gets. The monk took the bowl back and placed it gently on a flat, mossy rock. Exactly, he whispered. Now, we do the hardest thing of all. We do nothing. We sit, and we watch the mud find its own way home. The world went silent. Kael sat there, his eyes fixed on the bowl. At first, his mind was screaming. He wanted to get up. He wanted to check his cart. He felt like he was wasting precious time. But the monk's presence was like a mountain, immovable and calm. 1 minute passed. 2 minutes. 3. And then something miraculous happened. Without anyone touching it, without any hard work or hustle, the heavy particles of dirt began to lose their momentum. They slowly drifted to the bottom of the bowl. The swirling chaos began to settle into a layer of silt at the base. The water at the top became clear. Then it became transparent. And finally, it became like a mirror. Kael leaned forward. For the first time in 10 years, he didn't see a worker or a failure. He saw his own eyes. He saw the man he used to be before the world told him he had to be busy to be worthy. A single tear escaped his eye and fell near the bowl. He realized that the clarity was always there. It was just waiting for him to stop stirring the water. The monk spoke, his voice a gentle anchor in the silence. "You see, Kael? You didn't make the water clear. You simply stopped making it dirty." This is the secret Marcus Aurelius wrote about in his journals. He called it the Inner Citadel. The world will always try to stir your water, the monk continued. There will always be carts to pull and mountains to climb. But your peace does not depend on the world. It depends on your ability to step back, to sit by the stream, and to let the mud settle. True power is not the ability to move mountains. It is the ability to remain still while the mountain crumbles around you. Kael stood up. He didn't rush to his cart. He walked to it slowly, with a new kind of strength. He realized that he could still work, he could still strive, but he no longer had to carry the mud in his soul. As you watch this, remember, you are not your productivity. You are not your hustle. You are the clear water beneath the mud. Tonight, before you sleep, do nothing, just for 5 minutes. Subscribe for more wisdom